Hey there, it's the Jew from the Chew on This podcast, letting you know you can leave comments, questions, and suggestions a number of ways. Reviews and comments are appreciated on iTunes and YouTube, and you can check out our daily postings on Facebook. Our Twitter feed and Instagram is at Chew on This Pod, and of course, as always, you can email us directly at chewonthispodcast@gmail.com. So there you have it, folks. Short of a bat signal or an Avengers card, there's all the ways you can let us know how big of a nerd you truly are. Enjoy and chew on this podcast.
Welcome to episode 20 of Chew on This, a Nerds United podcast. I'm BJ.
Vic. Wow, we're already in episode 20.
We're at episode 20, and we have, a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Strap in, folks. Strap in.
Yeah, so early apologies for the amount of this podcast. We're gonna once again have to do a diversity episode. We're gonna get to the Zootopia review, so just bear with us for a little bit, because the subject matter that we're about to talk about again with diversity is pretty important. I don't think a lot of mainstream corporate media will really do it the way that we're going to do it right now. So, and if we have to be the only ones that do it, along with other people that don't consider themselves mainstream media, then fucking so be it, because we feel that it's pretty important. So. Anyway, so for the past 2 weeks, two major things happened that we should have got excited for, and we did get excited for, being a nerd. The first thing that happened was the Doctor Strange trailer, and the second thing that happened was the early pick of Ghost in the Shell. And just starting with, which actually I had Doctor Strange at number 5 on my top 10 list. Do you remember by any chance?
Yeah. I think I had mine at number 4, and the trailer came out, and I was actually really, really excited about it and watched it, and I kind of had a meh feeling, when I watched it. For one thing, I don't know the character very well. I admit that, but it just felt, I was like, okay, we'll see what happens in a few months when the second trailer comes out. But you actually got pretty jazzed about it.
Yeah, I was pretty jazzed about it. But let me go back to the Ghost in the Shell picture. Because it was the first time we actually got to see Scarlett Johansson playing, I don't even know how to pronounce her name because it's Japanese. So
right.
What it basically did was it once again brought whitewashing into Hollywood, and basically Hollywood again being Holly White. So I don't understand the concept behind why you would pick a whiter than white actress who is a really good actress to play a Japanese character. Now there's multiple layers to this. So just a little background for anybody who hasn't never watched Ghost in the Shell the movie, not read the manga, but actually watched the anime, because I actually only watched the anime. I don't know about you, BJ.
I have, in spoilers, everybody.
Oh, right.
I just have to say spoilers in case you go into spoiler territory.
Right. 3 minutes, not bad. Or 2 minutes. So, but
spoilers, she's Japanese. No.
Yeah, exactly. So just not going into the story too much, but so this is anime. It came from the manga comic books. It's a Japanese anime. It's a Japanese story. It's got Japanese characters. It has Japanese names in it. And they decided to cast Scarlett Johansson without updating the story and giving her the Japanese name. Now, the character that Scarlett Johansson plays is a cyborg, which you can argue the fact that it's just a cyborg, but it makes really no sense whatsoever to have all those Japanese things in there and then cast a white actress to play the Japanese named cyborg. So this is basically like the equivalent of trying to like make a bacon cheeseburger sushi, that you think is it's a good like Americanized idea, but in the end it gives you the shits. So now there's there's like I said, there's multiple layers to this, and I know we talked offline about this, but it's, I mean, you being white, you tell me
Mhm.
what your opinion is about this casting.
Well, okay, so me being white, or I'm Jewish, whatever, still white. Um, I it's okay. So I'm not like, when I heard the casting, I wasn't offended and just overly outraged and things like that. But I was really like baffled as to why they went with this casting when clearly it is everything about it is Japanese. The story, the original story, the anime, everything where it takes place, all the characters, and as far as I know, the production, they're doing all of that except for the fact that the android is white. And so me, I was more not like pissed off, outrage as a fan kind of thing, but more pissed off as like, I don't understand this. Like, why would you do that? And it doesn't even feel like this is a missed opportunity, like the Iron Fist thing, because that's a different animal. It feels more like they're just not paying attention to what's going on out in the real world. Like, I don't understand it, and we'll get a little bit more into that when we talk about the Max Landis video, but because he kind of like goes into some other territory that I didn't really think about. But so anyway, my feeling or opinion was, I was just baffled, just like, what the hell, what are they thinking, kind of thing.
So
And so,
for me, it was a little bit different. Being Asian, I'm not Japanese, but um, for me, it was a little bit different.
oh, wait, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, not the same thing.
Okay,
So
okay.
so what made matters even worse on top of this, because it they're another stereotype for the Asians is that they're very passive and they don't really raise a lot of hell when shit like this goes down, because
Mm-hmm.
I could guarantee you right now, if this was a different color, or a different race that this happened to, it would be all over the fucking news. I guarantee you. Anybody who wants to argue
Yeah.
that point with me, you're full of shit. Right then and there, I am not the passive Asian American. I will call you out. You're full of shit if you think if this was not a different color. I'm not going to say which. I'm not going to say
Mm-hmm.
which one. It doesn't matter because there's a
Mm-hmm.
few. But if you actually think that this happened to a different color and this will not be all over mainstream media, you're so ignorant on what happens to Asian Americans in the culture,
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
whitewashing
absolutely.
shit. So what actually made things even fucking worse about this whole situation is that there was a rumor that Paramount was trying to use this technology that is originally intended to make the actor or actress seem like alter their appearance in like making them seem thinner, maybe fatter in some certain ways, or I would guess mostly thinner since it's Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to alter the rumor, again, this is a rumor, that said they tried to alter Scarlett Johansson's appearance to make her look more Asian. Now, let me preface the fact that Scarlett Johansson had no idea this was happening. This was just
Right.
Paramount, some fucking suit behind a desk, thinking that this would be a good idea. So the rumor got out this week, I believe it was, or was it this week or last week? And
It yeah.
yeah, about that. And then here's their press release, or their defense of this was like, no, 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 no. We had no intention of ever doing it to Scarlett Johansson. We just tried to do it to the background characters. And then that is such
That
a
is such a
fucking
bullshit answer.
that's such a facepalm thing, because it's like, okay, so just because it wasn't to Scarlett Johansson, it makes it okay to do it in the background.
Why do it at all? I don't understand that. Why do it at all? Scarlett Johansson or some janitor in the background sweeping the floor or
Yeah,
something like that.
you
Why?
couldn't find some
Why?
you couldn't find some Asian looking person to play a janitor or a background character. Like that's how fucking much you have to whitewash the whole thing. Not to mention the background character probably has a Japanese fucking name. You fucking morons. Like what is wrong with
Yeah,
you?
it costs too much money to cast Japanese people. So let's spend money and digitally alter white people to look like Japanese people.
Yeah,
Makes
because
a lot of sense.
that makes a lot more sense and takes more time and takes more money than just hiring somebody at $10 an hour and say stand in the background.
I don't. Yeah, I love the fact that they went, oh, no, it's not for the main actress. It's like, no, fucking moron. Why do it at all?
Yeah,
Why?
exactly.
What's the, oh, we were, you know what? We tested it. It didn't, no, we're not going to do it because we're not going to do it.
Now what's
And it's just like fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So what makes it even worse is you read the internet trolls out there, and of course it's all white people, right? It's all white people who kind of are basically what they're saying is what's the big fucking deal? It's a cyborg, it doesn't matter. They just want to update the whole thing. Well, asshole, why don't you stop acting like a spoiled fucking like kid who, was the baby for the longest time. You're the baby of the family, right? You got
Mhm.
everything you wanted. You got all the toys, you got all the candy, you got all the attention. Everybody wanted to play with the baby. Now all of a sudden, a new baby comes along, and you're like, no, wait a minute, what about me? And you're sitting there pouting in the corner, like, why isn't anybody paying attention to me? And basically,
Mhm.
it's asshole. Just because things have happened for so long in one way doesn't mean that they're right. Like it doesn't mean like the white people aren't going to get love in America. Like please, we're so fucking far from that ever happening. But the fact that you took a Japanese story, Japanese characters with Japanese names, and you put white people in it. Like the fact that you don't think that there's anything wrong with that, and you're telling Asians to get over it, you're an asshole. There's nothing that you can
Yeah,
say to defend the fact that you're not an asshole. You're just an idiot. Like you don't understand it. You don't understand what it's
well,
like.
that's just honestly, it's what's perpetuating the problem even more. It's like my thing is like being white. I hear all this stuff all the time, and I try to keep a lot of times my opinions to myself because I feel like sometimes if I say something, it's going to come back at me like, well, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and really I don't because I'm not Asian or Black, Latino, and all that stuff. But I have certain opinions about things that I feel like you know I mean, at least around geek culture and stuff like that. When I know a property is a certain way and they change it, I'm going to be vocal about it. Be like, hey, that's not right, or that's not the way it should be, or whatever. Especially when it's blatant like this. So that kind of thing upsets me. But when people say like, get over it, or they say like, oh man, yeah, that sucks. Like, I don't. I would be really upset, or I would, if you just try to sit there and like talk to them about how you would feel about it, you can't do that. It's like you can't. Like I seriously can't have those kind of opinions. I just kind of sit back and just look at all that stuff going on and try to be supportive. I think if my culture, I'm Jewish, if my culture is being represented in a way that I didn't feel was right, fuck yeah, I'm going to be vocal about it because I'm Jewish. But you know, like I think you would have a hard time talking about Jewish stuff because you're Asian, so you're like, well, I don't know that, so I'll just go along with you and like support you and stuff like that.
I
So
don't think Jewish people are ever going to be misrepresented in Hollywood. Just it's not going to
we
happen,
own
dude.
Hollywood, bitch.
No, it's not going to happen.
But anyway,
Yeah, so there's been like articles out there that have come out about this, and what's interesting is I read an article the other day, and I know I forwarded it to you or you forwarded it to me, where the original creator, the actual director of the anime Ghost in the Shell, didn't ever think that they would actually cast a Japanese person when they brought it into America. And a lot of white people would actually, or I shouldn't keep saying white, I should say ignorant people, would actually say, well, see, look, the original director of the movie didn't think that Hollywood would ever cast a Japanese actor in Ghost in the Shell. And but you're not but there's a layer to that you're not understanding. And here's the layer. In in Japan, they're
Mhm.
not diverse. They're not a melting pot like America is. So
Right.
when something is done there, they do it Japanese, like they do Japanese people things, you know, like they're gonna cast Japanese actors and actresses in their shit. They're not going to
Right.
cast white people because it's not diverse over there. It's not like America. America is so different than anywhere else. Whereas over
Yeah.
here, you can't have on one hand and be proud the fact that you have, you know, all these immigrants coming in and America is a melting pot for all the shit. And then all of a sudden, when you take something from their culture coming in from, you know, Japan or whatever, and then all of a sudden you just be like, well, here's a bunch of white people over the shit that you grew up loving that is from your culture. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, it's just it isn't right, and it just doesn't feel right. Like it feels. I mean, just the fact like she's okay. So go back to Ghost in the Shell. So she plays an android, right?
Yeah, a
And
Japanese,
but
the name of the,
she has a Jap.
yes,
Yeah,
she has a Japanese
she has a
name.
Japanese name. Why don't they just call her like Mary Smith or something? Why are
Right.
they?
You're right.
I don't.
If you're going to update the
I
story,
don't.
because here's the thing, Ghost in the Shell also has like a lot of anime, right? Most people don't understand
Mhm.
this because, well, they just don't. They don't know. They don't want to look up history or they don't want to read shit. They just want to just do things on face value. So a lot of anime is influenced by Disney. Most people don't know that. Disney
Mhm.
came out first, and then the Japanese people basically like loved the way that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs were made. And if you look back to early anime, a lot of the anime looked white, but that's only because they were taking it and using it for, like, they were altering it a little bit for their own culture. So
Yeah.
it's like if like P Diddy sampled Led Zeppelin or sampled Led Zeppelin. He just took something and made it his own, and that's fine because there's
Yeah.
other examples of Hollywood kind of doing the same thing with other Japanese things. So the one of the biggest things that we love, like up and down, is Star Wars. Now,
Mhm.
a lot, if you're a big Star Wars fan and you know that Lucas was heavily influenced by the Hidden Fortress, heavily influenced by the Hidden Fortress.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you
Absolutely.
watch like some of the clips on YouTube right there, you'll see a tall Japanese guy and a short Japanese guy trying to just walking around like talking to each other in like the desert or the woods or whatever. That's fucking C3PO
Yeah.
and R2D2. But
Yeah, for sure.
what, did George Lucas take the Japanese names and put two white people into it, or did he update the story? You know, and then
Yeah,
also, yeah, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, in episode one, he stereotyped with the voice,
Oh
but
God, yeah,
but you're right. But you're right. The original trilogy is, full of those references that that influence him, Japanese culture and stuff. So you know, it's irritating. Did you watch the Max Landis video?
yeah, I did, and what I thought was he made some really great points. Basically, in a nutshell, the Max Landis. If you don't know who he is, he's a writer. He wrote on fuck, what's the name of that movie? What the hell's the name of that movie with the handheld superhero movie?
Chronicle.
Chronicle, right? He was a writer on Chronicle. So he knows the Hollywood scene, and he made a very good couple of points. Basically, what he was saying is, don't blame Scarlett Johansson, which we're not. None of us are.
Right.
Me and you are
Yeah.
not
Let's
blaming
be clear.
Scarlett.
We're not.
You know, basically,
No.
she was offered a part and she took it. I mean, being white, she probably didn't even think about what she was doing. Same thing with like Emma Stone when she was cast as like half what Chinese or whatever in that one movie, Aloha. She didn't even think about that because she's white. Why would she think about that, right? She had no idea like
Right.
that she was doing something wrong. It was just a job and she did it. So we're not blaming Scarlett Johansson. Um, but he also goes on to say that we shouldn't blame the Hollywood like scene. Shouldn't blame the studio and we shouldn't blame the director or the casting director. Now, to me, because he puts it in a bigger realm, he puts it in as cultural, that there's a problem
Right.
cultural. And I have a big problem with that because
I I do too. Go ahead and make your
because
point, because I think I know what you're going to say.
right, because like how can you not blame the powers that be who influence the pop culture in America? Like you
Mm-hmm.
can't tell me that like that those people up there in the suits don't put out what they think or feel would be out there. If they didn't want to do it, they wouldn't do it. So you're fucking right. I'm going to blame the studio because those are the ones that are making the big decisions. And I guarantee you, like, I don't understand how Hollywood doesn't even know this is happening. Where, I mean, fucking Star Wars. How fucking much did Star Wars get praised for their diversity in that movie? And
But see, he also made a point that Star Wars is the only property on the planet that is bigger than everything else. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter who you cast in it. Star Wars is just it's bigger than culture for something.
but
It's like a religion to some people.
how many properties in the last 3 years alone have gotten shit for what they did casting wise? How many? I mean,
I don't
look
know.
at this past. Look at the past. What was it? It wasn't this summer. No, it was like when did Gods of Egypt come out?
That was this year, like a couple months ago.
Okay,
What a
so
big piece of shit.
right. So did you learn nothing from that? And that wasn't even Asians; those are fucking Egyptians. And you cast white
Yeah,
people in that stuff. Like, did you learn
right.
nothing from that one instance? Like, hey, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should be more careful when we're casting movies that take place in a different country. Maybe we shouldn't cast white people. Like seriously.
I,
Like you learn
you
nothing
know,
from you learn nothing from your own like mistakes.
look, he made a point about, Max made a point about the culture. Okay, I get all that stuff, but don't you think it's a responsibility of the studios to try to change that culture, to try to change?
Right. They
I
can
mean,
set
it's
the
got to
culture.
stop somewhere.
They can set the culture. Look, if fucking E Entertainment can make a fucking paperweight like Kim Kardashian fucking famous, you can make Asian people you can make an Asian actor and actress mean something. I mean, the
Absolutely.
Kardashians are fucking famous. The Kardashians are famous. Let me say that again, you fucking morons who pay attention to their stupid shit. The E Entertainment made the Kardashians famous.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me
Yeah.
that nobody's going to go and watch a movie that takes place in Japan that a lot of white people in America fucking love? They're not going to go see a Ghost in the Shell movie where the people are Japanese? Are you fucking
I
kidding me?
It's so ridiculous, and yeah, they're spending a ton of money, but you know what? You're putting even more money in it when you're hiring an actress. I'm sure she commands a lot of money now because she's huge.
You're going to command
She could.
you're going to spend a lot more money trying to fucking whitewash or trying to make the white
I
actors and actresses seem more Japanese. Are you fucking kidding me?
I feel yeah, I feel the same way. So some people are able to rise above that and make a good movie with the right people. And there's some stuff coming out, probably that we'll get to a little later on, that is kind of going in that direction. They're actually taking a stand and saying like, hey, these are the parts we made, we're going to get the actors to fill them. That a diverse cast. They're not looking at, oh, we need 7 white people for this movie. No, they're like, we're looking at everybody to fill this thing.
So then
you know
that brings us to the next movie that I mentioned in the beginning was Doctor Strange.
yeah.
Now, here's what I have a problem with in this one is that they casted Tilda Sweden to play what's it called? What is her name? The ancient one, right? So you not only okay, so Doctor Strange, like he learns his stuff in like Tibet or something like that, right? So basically, you already get a white guy, to go to Tibet, like an Asian place, to learn all this magical shit. Like he's like the chosen one. Fine, whatever, because it was a comic book in America that I'm okay with that. But in the comic book, it was a Asian person who, from my recollection, kind of was a little like racist the way that they drew him in the comic books. But anyway, so you take that Asian person and you could have just made him not racist. Like you could have made him not in like a racist character in the movie. And you take that person and you give it to a woman. That I don't have a problem with. The fact that you gave it to a white woman, I do. So now you have the main character going all the way to the other side of the world, being taught by another white person in an Asian country. Tell me that makes sense to you?
It doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't have a problem when they changed it to female too. I thought that's great. I mean, right now, females are kicking ass. They're doing awesome.
So leave
work,
it as an Asian woman.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Asian women that are great actresses. Bring back Michelle Yeoh. Where the heck did she go? She was awesome.
She would have been fucking
Bring her
awesome
back.
as the ancient one. Like, seriously. Not to mention that China is one of your biggest fucking markets.
Oh, see, now, that's a smart person talking there, a logic person.
Right.
Because a lot of these people, because Max, like what Max said, okay, it makes sense in one way, but in another way, it doesn't make sense. Because he says, oh, well, hire, the studios have a big budget movie, so they hire people that will draw crowds in. Well, at the same time, though, if you were to hire, let's say you hired an Asian person to be, because it's the second biggest market on the planet, movie-wise. So if you hire somebody to be in your big budget movie, wouldn't you think that would draw more of them? Sorry saying them, but more people, over there to go watch your movie. So I don't understand the logic behind that. It doesn't, and how many Asian people know who the fuck Tilda Swinton is? Too. Most people don't know who she is.
She's a really good actress. I really like her.
She's an awesome actress. She's in the Narnia movies, but she's also in a lot of dramas and like The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio. She's fantastic.
She was great.
And again,
let's talk about Kevin.
Oh yeah, and again, this isn't shitting on her or Scarlett or anything
No.
like that. These are fantastic actresses that deserve everything. However, it's the property and the logic behind it and all that stuff doesn't make any sense to hire her or any white woman for that matter to be in that role. It doesn't make any sense.
And I'm so disappointed because it's Marvel and Disney doing that too. And this isn't the first time that Marvel has done something like this. The very first time that they really did do it was in Iron Man 3. Now, most people, the knee-jerk reaction is going to be, well, Ben Kingsley's not white, so that's not really whitewashing. Well, go watch the fucking movie again, because the real Mandarin was Guy Pearce. Okay?
Right.
So you took a character named the Mandarin. Let me say that again. You took a character named the Mandarin. You made him you made him Indian. Then you made him white. So
maybe that was a way to get away with it, I guess. He's Indian. No, he's white. Oh, he's a British guy.
The ethnicity of the character is in the fucking name. The Mandarin. I can't even tell you how excited I was when I heard that the Mandarin was going to be the villain.
Oh my God, me too. What a severe disappointment
and
that
then,
was when it turned out
and then
to
they
be.
cast Ben Kingsley, and I took a step back and I was like, okay, that's a little weird, but Ben Kingsley's a good actor, so I'll kind of go with it. I was upset that they did not cast like Chow Yun-fat in the role or some other famous person that they could have done.
How amazing would that have been?
Well, actually, I'm kind of glad that he wasn't in that movie because that movie fucking sucked. But
yeah, it's terrible.
But so when I actually watched the movie, I was like, wait a minute. So not only did you not cast an Asian person in the Mandarin, you ended up making him white at the very fucking end.
Mm-hmm.
So what the fuck? Like that to me is even like that's on the same level. The Tilda Swinton thing, maybe you could kind of argue your way out of it. Maybe there's a slight chance you could argue your way out of it. But the Mandarin is on the same level as the Japanese. I wish I could fucking remember the Japanese name of the cyborg. It's on the same level as Scarlett Johansson being cast as the Japanese cyborg with the Japanese name. Because there's no fucking way you're going to sit there and tell me with a straight face. And like, just for example, if somebody came up to you, was white as shit, like picture Pee Wee Herman. He comes up and he doesn't tell you his name is Paul Rubens. He tells you some fucking Japanese name, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to look at him like, wait a minute. Why do you have a Japanese name? So sometimes they kind of get it right. We had just mentioned Star Wars kind of updating the Hidden Fortress, and the another trailer just dropped recently is the Magnificent Seven. It's a remake. It's a remake
Yes.
of a remake. so so the Magnificent Seven is this western back in the day, and maybe some people don't know this, but it's actually based on a Japanese movie called The Seven Samurai. So what Hollywood
Yes, which is awesome,
both
by the way.
movies are actually pretty decent. So, what Hollywood
Yeah.
did instead of casting seven white guys as samurai and putting them in Japan, um, they decided just to pull certain parts of the story and kind of just update it for Western culture, which is fine. Which like The Departed did that. They took that The Departed, which I still don't understand why it won an Oscar because it just wasn't that good.
I
But
don't either.
I mean, it's a good movie, but the original is so much better. Um, it's based on I can't remember if it's I think it's Chinese. Yeah, it's Chinese. It's a Chinese movie. It's called Infernal. It's called
Hmm.
Infernal Affairs. Um,
Oh
it's
yeah,
a
I've
much
seen
it has
that.
a much better ending than The Departed, and I still can't understand of all the fucking awesome movies Martin Scorsese has done, he wins for an inferior remake. But that's beside the point.
Well,
But it doesn't matter. So
yeah,
basically,
yeah,
they took Martin Scorsese didn't say, okay, well, I'm gonna cast Matt Damon, give him a Chinese name, and put him in Hong Kong. Like they didn't fucking do that. They made it for here for like Boston. I think the story was right. That it took place in Boston.
right.
So the Magnificent Seven, they're going to remake it again, and Denzel is actually the main character. So they have Denzel, a black dude. They got Chris Pratt, who's just on fire right now. They who else
Yeah.
did they get? Ethan Hawke is in there, but then they also got like an American Indian guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. They also got an Asian dude in there too.
Uh, Martin Sansmeyer as he's playing Red Harvest, which is supposed to be an American.
Right.
It's American Indian. So they
So, and
actually,
they
yeah,
also got some Asian guy in there too,
absolutely.
which I don't know what the character name is in there. But the trailer looks pretty good. But again, that's Hollywood sometimes getting it right, where they take the source material originally, the 1960 version of it. I think it's from the 60s, and they just kind of lift the story and update it for Western culture. And then this new remake kind of just takes it to a whole new level, um, and really has a diverse Magnificent Seven. The seven people in the movie, the main characters, are all different. It kind of makes sense for the story. If most people don't know, it's this town that's just being like bullied, and I mean bullied is kind of like not a great term because they're basically being killed and like tortured and all this shit by this gang or whatever, and they go out and try to find somebody who will help them, and it's this guy who in this version is Denzel Washington, who goes
Hmm.
out and tries to find other like loners or whatever that could help him stop these people. And it kind of makes
Yes.
sense to get all these different people that in that area would want to kill white people basically. you
Yeah,
know
absolutely. That was
so
some people maybe with nothing to lose, or some people that have some integrity or whatever. But it's like an Avengers type movie with well, shit, cowboys and Indians, I guess, and
right. So
so.
sometimes
But
they kind of get
yeah,
it right. There's another movie which I'm ashamed to actually know more about. Ashamed to know more about is the Power Rangers movie. I actually
oh,
know I actually know more
yeah.
about the Power Rangers than I do Magnificent Seven.
That's sad, dude. We got to change
Yeah, I know. I should
that.
probably edit that out. So they went ahead and they completely changed the characters' gender and ethnicity for the Power Rangers. They did
Right.
hire Elizabeth Banks to play Rita Repulsive, I think her name is. Originally
Yeah.
in the TV show was an Asian person, which I guess is okay. But here is how fucked up the TV show was. Ready? So
Hmm.
the TV show had the red, the blue, the black, the pink, and the yellow Power Rangers. Okay,
Okay.
the red and pink and blue Ranger were white. Can you
Okay.
guess? Can you guess what color the Black Ranger was? Guess what color the Black Ranger was?
Black.
Guess what color the
No?
Yellow Ranger was? Or what ethnicity the
He was
Yellow
Asian.
Ranger? Right. So that it never occurred to me watching that growing up. That was like the Black Ranger is black and the Yellow Ranger is yellow. That's kind of weird to me.
You're probably like, I hate Yellow Ranger.
Yeah.
I hate that color.
So what they did was now so let me just read off the actors and their ethnicities and who they're playing. So Naomi
Okay.
Scott, who's Indian, is playing the Pink Ranger. Becky G, who's Mexican American, is playing the Yellow Ranger. RJ Seiler, who's black, is playing the Blue Ranger. I don't know how to say this first name. Dacker Montgomery is white, who's playing the Red Ranger, and Ludi Lin is Chinese, and he's playing the Black Ranger. Now that's all great, but here's the problem. Here's the problem that I hope that it's just IMDb messing this up and they actually update the characters' names, because Naomi Scott, who's Indian, is playing Kimberly Hart. Pretty white name, but it gets worse.
Yeah.
Becky G.
Yeah, they should have changed that name.
Becky G, who's Mexican American, playing the Yellow Ranger. She's playing Trini Kwan. So,
What?
Yeah. So,
I think something got messed up around there. Something got messed up.
Yeah, and then Ludi Lin, who's the Chinese guy playing the Black Ranger, is playing Zach Taylor.
What? So they got it half right.
They kept the names. They kept the names, and
like,
yeah. So
is Tyrone's white?
Yeah. So they kind of got it right, and I hope they change the names around a little bit, because I'm gonna have a hard time looking at the Mexican American called Trini Kwan. And there's also, I don't know who this person is, but this guy, Patrick Sabangui, I don't know, he's of Egyptian descent, is playing Mr. Kwan. So I'm guessing that might be her father. So there's an Egyptian. I think they must have messed. Yeah. There's an Egyptian and a Mexican American with a Asian last name in the movie as of right now.
Really? So they're like going far the other direction. They're like, we're gonna make this bitch diverse, like crazy.
They're just gonna mix shit up and just like everyone's adopted.
To the point where we're gonna confuse the fuck out of our audience. They don't know what the hell.
They went the other direction. They went the other direction where they're like, you want diversity? I'm gonna give you a fucking like I'm gonna give you a fucking Mexican woman with a Chinese name. Let's see how that plays.
Fusion.
It's almost like they wrote the dice. Like they wrote the names on one dice, and then they wrote the ethnicity on the other, and it just like fucking rolled the dice.
That's awesome. Oh my god.
So well, let's end on that note of kind of doing it right, because all that stuff that we just talked about, completely like messed up stuff. Leave it to Disney again, even though they own Marvel and did the whole fucking Tilda Sweden thing. Leave it to Disney to put out a cartoon that addresses every diversity issue possible in a movie. And
oh man,
the movie is called Zootopia.
Zootopia is fantastic. I finally got to go see it, and I had no idea what this movie was about, because the only trailer I ever saw was with they're at the DMV trying to get information out of the sloth, and it's funny.
That scene is fucking hilarious.
It's so fun. It plays so well over and over and over again, and that plays into something that happens at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
which was great.
Yeah.
But this movie, besides being just wildly entertaining and family oriented, had a lot of things underlying in it. A lot of themes and a lot of like stuff about race, about stereotyping.
Right.
For one thing, casting the main cast, as a female. I think it was a little female rabbit trying to be a cop. And so the one thing was, try to be, try to be your best self. Don't listen to anyone, what they have to, really believe in yourself, and everything will kind of, will happen for you, kind of stuff. So that's just the basic theme. But the rest of the themes were very like, she would say something like, I'm not just a token bunny. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm
Right.
not, I love that. I'm just not, because she was being stereotyped, like, because every second, time someone saw her, they went, "Oh, you're so cute," and she's
Right.
like,
I love that.
You're not allowed. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to say that.
I can call
Only,
another bunny cute, but when somebody else calls me cute, it's not so kosher. So
I mean, oh my gosh, dude. I mean, that was the biggest one that stood out to me.
the cute one,
You
the
know,
cute line.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Or
So basically, like Zootopia is like diversity done right. Even again, it's a cartoon. I know it's a fucking cartoon, but like you said, the underlying theme of this movie is diversity, like done right, and the best representation of like being proud of who you are, and at the same time, that the fact that your background, ethnicity, gender identification should be a strength and not a weakness, and you're not bound by anything or anyone other than yourself.
absolutely. One of so speaking about the sloth again, this is spoilers about Zootopia, but the sloth scene in the DMV is just so hysterical, so memorable and whatnot, and because they're very slow and everything that they do and everything that they say, and then of course at the very end of the movie, there's this car racing by and they go pull it over, and it's the sloth. He had driven at 180 miles an hour in this like Ferrari, and he lowers the window real slow and he sticks his head out and he just has this big smile, and oh my god, it was so funny because it immediately told you like, oh fuck dude, you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't do that. You can't stereotype everybody like that, because like, you know um or there was a thing in it. I think it says like, are all rabbits like bad drivers? Because like, they were, there was some, I guess that the fox in it was making fun of her and stuff like that. And are all rabbits bad drivers? And I was like, oh shit, I mean, they were hitting all kinds of different
Yeah, and then
cultures,
when you found out
races.
what was the fox's name again?
Uh, oh shit. Um,
Fuck.
damn it.
Well,
Yeah,
remember when you saw his background story of why he was the way he was or is? Like
yeah,
that was brutal. That was
that was really
fucking
brutal.
messed up. Like
And and
that
I'm
hit me hard. Like that scene.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it was really cringeworthy, but yeah, I mean, it messes you up for the rest of your life. It really does, stuff like that. For one thing, kids can be really cruel, but for them to like totally just based on, your ethnicity, or which is basically what it's saying, is like,
Right.
oh, you're no good because you're a fox, you're uh uh you steal shit, you're an awful person, and stuff like that. Because like this movie also is about like 90%. They said like 90% are predators and the 10% are prey. You know, and so that was kind of like one of the themes in it, is that there's more predators than there are prey, and that you can kind of say that about the world we live in as well. Is kind of like that. But that could be more like, the rich, the 99% people trying to bust our ass making a living, and the one percenters are,
Right.
having a good old time. Um,
What was
no,
what was your
this
favorite part
movie
in the
was one of,
movie?
oh man, there's so many. I mean, of course the DMV scene is amazing.
Right.
I was just really surprised, like, um the vastness of Zootopia itself. Like when she's going into the city
Through the
and they
train,
show all
right?
the different climates,
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that is so cool. Like I never would have thought of that. Um and I just like the fact that it's just a good, it's good storytelling. Of course they borrow stuff from cop movies and other movies and stuff like that. But they put it together in such a way that it made it fresh and new, and then adding all that diversity stuff, which I don't know. Do they like look at a crystal ball 5 years ago and go, shit, this is going to be pretty prevalent 5 years from now. We need to fucking do
I
this.
don't know. They hit they like we said, they hit race, they hit gender, they hit bullying, like in school when you were younger, or the bullying thing that's happening now in schools. Like they hit everything
Everything.
in one movie, and
And
it's crazy what they did in this movie. I mean, that's why it's probably the highest rated movie of the year so far.
well, because it hit on so many levels, and I've read some. After I watched it, I had to go. Always go and read articles and reviews and things like that, and all the critics say the same thing. They're like, this movie has so many good messages in it, but the filmmakers didn't go out of their way to make the movie like that. To shove it in your face. They did it in such a way that it hits you like little subliminal messages throughout the whole thing. Like every time something would happen, they would say something like oh, hey, only my kind can call me cute, or something like that. Like little things like that. My eyes always like got big, and I perked up, and I'm just like, wow, that's fucking deep, dude. Like,
But
and they just
genius
kept
in the way
doing
they
that.
put it.
Yeah, and the way that they put it was just brilliant.
Because the way that they say the cute thing, and for me, this is why it was so like poignant for me, is because like because like you think bunnies are cute, bunnies are cute, like that's just what it is. And then
Right.
the fact that they take that one thing that everybody thinks is normal, and then they flip it upside down to say, wait a minute. Like in Zootopia, when they're saying that, they take that one term and turn it around and say, well, that's racist if you do it. And
It's
it
a
was
derogatory term. Right.
exactly. I was like, that's fucking brilliant.
That
It's
is so
brilliant.
it's so good. Yeah, it was so good the way they did it. Jason Bateman plays the fox, and his name was Nick.
Right.
By the way,
Right, Nick.
some just awesome acting. It of course
Idris
Idris
Elba.
Elba
Yep.
is our favorite guy right now.
I fucking loved it when he got caught by the cheetah with the app.
Watching the Shakira video, the gazelle.
Is that who that is? That's her voice?
Yeah, it was Shakira.
Okay.
Yeah, my fiance caught it right away. She's like, "Oh, the Shakira's the Giselle." I'm like, the gazelle. I was like, "How do you know that?"
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
couldn't place
I know that voice anywhere." Yeah, yeah, I love that. I don't know who played the that guy though. That silly guy at the counter. I don't know who that voice is.
I thought it was, I mean, just thinking, I thought it was the guy with at the end of The Office, the glasses. I thought that was him. But I could be,
yeah,
but I could be dead wrong.
I don't
I'll
know.
have to look it up.
Yeah, I recognize J.K. Simmons right away as the mayor.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
very, 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 noticeable voice. I think they had a couple SNL characters do voices. Bonnie Hunt, she does a lot of the Pixar voices in all the movies. She does.
All right. Have you ever seen that movie, She's Out of My League?
Yes.
The guy who's married in it, but you think he's gay, the fat friend.
Oh yeah, that
That's
could have
him.
been.
That's him.
That does sound like him.
Well, it
You're
is.
right.
I'm looking at IMDb. That is him. It's Nate.
Oh, it is him.
Yeah, it's Nate Torrance.
And then
is his name.
And then okay, and then right away, like there's a scene with the yak. I knew that was Chong right away.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was like, that's Chong. Oh, that's so cool. No, they did perfect casting in this
Oh
thing.
my god, you just brought up an awesome scene too, and I completely forgot about the yoga, the natural, the nudist colony, and all they are is just like they're just standing there, normal animals.
That was, oh my god, you're right. That was a really funny moment. Like they had this like nudist colony because everyone's Zootopia wears clothes, and they had this nudist colony, and they had to go and ask this, elephant questions because elephants remember everything, right? And so that's another thing. That's another thing that's stereotypical that people say, like elephants remember everything. So they go outside, and all the animals are not wearing clothes, and so the bunny is like closing her eyes, going like, "Oh, I can't look at this nudity," and the fox is laughing at her, and the whole time that they're walking in to talk to the elephant, the yak is regurgitating all this information. And then they ask the elephant information, and the elephant doesn't know shit.
Yeah.
And the the yak tells them everything and then goes, "I'm sorry I wasn't any more help, but I can't remember shit," kind of thing.
Yeah,
And that
he's
was
like a good.
really funny and ironic.
He's like, yeah, good. It's a good thing elephants never forget.
It was so. I mean, how do you? That's oh my god. I mean, so two different things going on at the same time. It's just awesome. Like the writers just were fantastic, and I heard. Oh, so real quick before we finish on Zootopia, but I was reading somewhere something really interesting about an article about the artists. They actually went to Africa and went to this watering hole, and they said while they were sitting at the watering hole, there was these like gazelles and other animals like drinking from this watering hole. This reminded me of Jungle Book too. They're actually drinking from this watering hole, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this like lion walks up and drinks, and looks at them, just kind of does a nod thing, and then just like turns around and walks off. And the artists are just like, "What the hell? This is crazy!" And they talk to the locals there and talk to other animal experts, and they say that there are times where all the different animals, the prey and the predators, all for are civil and like they're drinking out of the same watering hole, and then they get up and then, and then maybe the next day, shit, the lion's chasing after the gazelle and trying to kill it or whatever. It's just, it's this weird phenomenon. And, they did it in Jungle Book. They do it in this movie very heavily because it's all about them building a society where all the people, all the animals can live together in harmony, even though there's still shit going down, but it's not like a free for all kind of thing. It's still structured. They got cops and things like that. I'd be very interested to see like where they're going to go with this because they're going to make a sequel to this thing, and it's wide open to do
Yeah,
all
now
sorts
that
of things.
yeah, now that Nick is on the
A
police
cop,
force.
yeah, that was really cool too. She said, "Hey, anything that you want to do, you put your mind to it, you do it," and like you're good at this shit, and he does it at the end. He actually accomplishes something. So there's a lot of really good messages in this thing, and adults are responding to it, kids are responding to it. I think it's just going to be like one of those classic movies is going to be around for a really long time. But I love Zootopia. Go watch Zootopia if you haven't.
Did you figure out who it was that was doing all this? With the predators and everything?
Who was running the show?
No, no, like who was actually causing them to go primal, as they were saying in the movie? Like, did you figure it out, or was it like, did you wait until the end and then figured it out?
I kind of I mean I didn't I kind of figured it out. They did these things where I've watched so many Law and Orders and other shit that told me like, okay, don't look at the, like, oh, maybe it's the mayor. Then I was like, no, it's got to be somebody that is in the inside, but not someone that like a main character like that, because that's too obvious.
Right. They kind of let you know it wasn't the mayor really early on when Jenny Hops goes into and Nick go into that facility by the dam, I think it is.
Oh,
And the
right, right.
mayor basically is like, well, I don't know what's going on. I want to know what the hell's going on,
I
because
want
like
to save the city.
there's like
Yeah.
there's no reason for him to be lying right then and there because there's no camera on him and he doesn't know that he's being watched. So right then and there, you knew he was trying to cover it up, but it wasn't him that was actually causing the issue. And then
Right.
when I found that out, I immediately thought of the sheep or the lamb, whatever she
The
is.
assistant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's the vice mayor or whatever her name is. The title,
Mm-hmm.
assistant mayor. Is that what it is?
Yes. Well, if you think even deeper, you can say, well, maybe it's a wolf in sheep's clothing kind of thing. Like
Oh,
she's under,
that was deep. That was
yeah,
pretty
like
deep.
she's hiding behind her little demure, you know. It was good. It was good writing. Like I understand those plot devices and whatnot, but it was done. It was done still pretty well. So it kept you guessing and stuff. Especially kids, I don't think would figure that out. But adults, we've been around the block, so um,
The animation in the movie really got me too in the water scenes. Like they always say, like
fantastic.
one of the most difficult things to do is the water. And there's that scene where they jump and they fall into the water, but before they fall into water, it's just like this pool scene, and I thought it was like so realistic looking.
E- everything about this the animation was top notch. was absolutely top notch. I mean, the animals didn't look goofy. See, like we could look at like the Good Dinosaur. Like I saw that movie and I just was not a big fan of the animation, although the background was phenomenal, like just crazy good. But in Zootopia, everything was very even. Like everything, the characters and the background and all that stuff looked fantastic. And also the way the animals moved. It wasn't too cartoonish, but it also wasn't photorealistic. So it was like in between. It was what it should have been.
Right.
It's
I
like
love
how
the
Toy
fact that
Story is.
I love the fact that they touched on basically every, almost like every level of species in the animal kingdom. That early scene where Jenny Hops is chasing that person who stole the uh, what did they end up calling it? The howlers, the
Oh
night
yeah,
howlers.
she wanders in through the rodent area, which that was awesome.
Yeah,
She
like they
looked like
touch on
they looked like she was
everything.
Godzilla.
Yeah, but they touch on like almost every single level of the animal kingdom. Like something as simple as like when the giraffe were trying to get some like smoothies or whatever, like the
They went
smoothie
through the
stand.
top.
Yeah, like those little things. Like it was just amazing how much thought was put into the movie for little things like that. That those little things is like production value because like now you're engulfed in this world of Zootopia.
Oh man, they suck you right in. I mean, they suck you right in. As soon as she hits that city, it sucks you right in. Everything that they show for just those couple of minutes when she's wandering through trying to get to the police station, I was just like floored. I was like, wow, they really took their time and like figured some of this shit out. That makes sense to that world. And and then like when the movie ended, I was thinking to myself like there is so much more they could do. Like there's so much really cool things that they could show because this movie is like so deep on like a million different levels and so many different types of species and all that. Like the other part that made me laugh a lot was the polar bear scene. The polar bears you think are the people that are kind of running the mob and all that shit. And they get to the actual mob's house, and you're thinking this huge, and
It's the
these polar
shrew.
bears keep coming into the room, one bigger than the next, and the cops freaking out, the bunny cop, and then they turn the little thing chair, and it's a little shrew, and he sounds like Marlon Brando. I was just like, even though that's been done a million times, it still fucking worked. I mean, it was so
Well,
funny.
even the details in the room when they actually before the polar bears even really show up out of that door, when they throw them into that room, they that's that scene is pulled right from The Godfather.
Oh
If
yeah,
you go to the Godfather movie and then you go to that scene in Zootopia, they even got the big chair there. They got the giant desk. They got the what is it, the fireplace to the right of the desk. Like they basically copied The Godfather.
And it worked, dude. It was awesome. I mean, everything about the even though like we're gonna let's ice him, and I was like, what? You're like, oh, kill him? Okay, cool. And then they open up the floorboard, and there's like literally ice water under him. We're like, oh shit, they're gonna like freeze him to death. Like that's cold. That's me. That's messed up. So
I'm
yeah.
trying to play the movie back in my head because there were so many things.
Well, they borrowed from Training Day because the girls the daughter of the shrew goes, no, they saved my life earlier in the day, and so he like stops them from getting killed because that happened in
Yeah.
Training Day.
And
Um,
she ends up being the goddaughter or the godmother of
right,
the
right.
Shrew's baby.
Um, yeah, that was really funny. That made me laugh too because I'm like, wow, how fast do they get pregnant? It was like really
Oh,
fast.
that reminds me of the earlier scene when the father of Jenny Hops is like, you and your 275 brothers and sisters.
As she's leaving the bunny town, you see the numbers of the population flying,
Right.
going up. That's awesome. No,
Yeah, there's
this
what I was going to say was that the movie, based on the diversity theme in this movie and the self-love that you're supposed to have in this movie, but it transcends like a cartoon. Like that's when a cartoon is better than anything you've ever seen because the when you can get like adults like me and you who are in our 30s, almost 40, talking about a movie that's a cartoon. Like the kids, like my daughter loved it. We had to take her twice to go
Mhm.
and see it, and she loved it because it's a cartoon, and she loved Jenny Hops because, well, because she was cute, But, um,
Right.
but uh, but when I watched it, I was like, oh my god, she has no idea how deep this movie is, and that's a good
Right.
thing, I guess, because like she'll take something from this movie because she loves the character so much and apply it to real life. When she
Absolutely.
like when Jenny when if she doesn't want like she doesn't think she can do something. I mean, I did the same thing with Star Wars when, spoilers, Ray has force powers. I did the same thing with Star Wars when I got her a lightsaber, and I was like, she was like, "No, only boys can be a Jedi." I was like, "No, baby, girls can be a Jedi too." And now I have proof that girls
Right.
can be a Jedi. Um, and then when I got her the lightsaber for Christmas, she's like, "Is that a boy's lightsaber?" I'm like, "No, no, that's actually Ray's lightsaber. It's a girl's lightsaber." So I didn't have to say some, because I always told her like you can be whatever you want. You can be a Jedi if you want. Um,
Right.
you
Right.
can play with lightsabers, but now it's in the movie. So with Zootopia, it's like if she wants to be something that if she wants to be a cowboy, okay, well then go be a cowboy if that's what you want to do. Or do whatever you want to do because Jenny Hops did whatever she wanted to do. You can be
That's
whatever
right.
you want. So it's like subliminal to the kids. And I mean, we both have kids, and I don't think your kids saw it, right?
Yeah, they saw
Zootopia.
all of them saw it.
Oh, they all saw Zootopia?
Yeah, they all saw it before I did. I had to go
Oh.
with my fiance went
Yeah,
and
it
saw it.
took me to tell you to go fucking watch this movie.
Well, I've been wanting to, but like all the kids saw it, and I'm like, they don't want to go again. So I just thought, oh, I'll just wait for it. But then I've been reading all this stuff about it, and I was like, all right, all right. And then you've been telling me, dude, you got to go watch this movie. I knew nothing about this movie other than that trailer. I knew nothing of all this underlying stuff. It just looked like a normal cartoon, might be funny, whatever Disney movie. But then at 98%, it's like the highest rated movie of the year right now, and uh, and so that really piqued my interest too. And so,
It's really not getting as much press as it actually deserves. It's really
um,
not. I don't think it is. Because
well,
when
I
when
mean,
Batman v Superman came out, that weekend Zootopia still made like $20 million.
yeah, it's kind of like it's like a sleeper hit. It's kind of sneaking in there. I mean, worldwide, it's doing phenomenal too. It's doing huge business. But you're right. I think there's just so many other things going on in the world, and especially in the entertainment world. Oh my God, today alone, a lot of shit happened. With Prince passing away, and even I don't care much about wrestling, but China died. Then the other day some other person died, or this and that.
Doris
There's all these
Roberts.
different, yeah, there's all these different things going on, and I think Zootopia, for whatever reason, is just kind of like it's doing its thing. It's still making money, and it's the one movie that doesn't drop very much from week to week, so it's still going, still making a lot of movie overseas, but it does need the attention. I think one of the big things of making got me off my ass to go watch this movie was the fact that there's all this talk for the last 2 weeks. This diversity talk, this whitewashing, all this stuff is just like rushing right back to the forefront again, just not that long after the Oscars. And then I heard some things about like, hey, you should go see Zootopia because it deals with some of these things. I was like, all right, I better go watch it. And holy shit, dude. I mean, I walked out there going like, they even like did, police relations to the public, what they look like in the public's eyes, or like your work people that you work with, how they look at you. I mean, there is so many different things going on in this movie. You have to watch it 2 or 3 times, probably to
Yeah.
catch most of it. Like I plan on watching this. I don't think I'm going to go to the theater again, but I'm definitely buying this on Blu-ray. It's worth having. It's that good. So, and I don't usually buy Blu-rays, so um, it's a really good movie to revisit. Actually, probably even show school kids and whatnot. Like, hey, this is here's some of the themes you can pull out of this.
I mean,
Um,
it transcends being a cartoon.
Absolutely, it's a really important film, is what I'm saying to everybody out there. You need to watch this film.
Yeah,
It
definitely. If you have kids, definitely let them
for
watch
sure.
this movie. Take them to go see it, and Jesus, like it's an amazing film on so many levels. I mean, it's a gorgeous film. First of all, it's funny. It's a pretty decent cop drama, kind of, or cop comedy,
Yeah, actually, it
mystery.
is.
Because it kind of has you guessing. There's actually a few frightening moments in it that made me kind of jump, like that came out of nowhere, like when the jaguar like went ape shit
Oh
or
yeah,
primal or
yeah,
whatever.
that's right.
Kind of made me jump kind of out of nowhere. It's definitely funny, like I said, and the underlying theme of this movie is really a reason why you should take your kids to go see it. It's still in theaters, and if you miss it, definitely purchase it on iTunes or however you want to get the movie, and let them watch it because it's. I personally enjoyed this movie more than I did Frozen, even though
Yeah, I
Frozen
did too.
was like a phenomenon.
Yeah, absolutely,
I mean, there's
absolutely.
like
I
there's
think
like a
they'd be
feminist movement with that one. I think there was like a feminist type of thing with that, but I think the theme in Zootopia surpasses the feminist theme in Frozen.
oh yeah. I mean, not to take away from Frozen, but yeah, it has a lot of things going on in so many different levels. I don't think I've ever seen a cartoon that had this many layers in it. You know, you can think back to some of the other ones like Shrek and where they had like a couple levels to it, about don't judge a book by its cover and that kind of thing. But this one had oodles of different types of themes, that so many different people can relate to. That was the thing. There isn't one thing in there where someone can't relate to something, like, oh shit, I was bullied, by kids too because of my color or because I was different or because I was a girl or because whatever,
Yeah,
nerd
and
or geek.
I was told I couldn't do something like the whole Jenny Hops theme is I was told that I couldn't do something or be something because of who because of my background or
Right.
because of my race or whatever it is.
Absolutely. And this movie really it's so good on so many levels. I can't even recommend it enough. And I'll definitely be buying this movie when it comes out.
It's
And shit, this is
I think I told you off air. I was like, I think this is probably the best movie I've seen this year. I mean, I've seen like don't get me wrong, like Deadpool was a really good movie and it was really entertaining. But as far as like a movie as a whole, this is probably the best movie I've seen so far this year.
I would go on and I'd be able to argue that statement too. Yeah, absolutely. I think it is the best movie I've seen this year. I mean, I've seen, a couple of movies that I loved, that I thought were awesome, but I think this is just beyond being entertaining and all that. It's just a very important type of movie. It's a type of movie that you can watch for generations to come. Deadpool, it's awesome in its own right, but I can't, like, I'll probably watch it a couple of times and I won't be able to watch it again for 2 3 years. Whereas Zootopia, I could probably watch that a couple times a year and not
Well,
get
I can
tired of it.
guarantee you I'm going to be when it comes out. I'm going to be watching it at nauseum.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, with kids,
So
shit.
yeah,
A little kid, you got
so
little
it's a good
kids.
thing. It's a good thing I like it because
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, I can't fucking stand Frozen half the time. Um, but with this one, like you said, I think you have to watch it multiple times for how many things they put in this movie.
There's so
Um,
many, even in the background, like background stuff happening while stuff's happening in the foreground. I mean, there's a lot of things, even just clever things.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I can't recommend that movie enough. But
so definitely way two thumbs up, and surprisingly, unless something else happens, surprisingly, this I don't know any other major cartoons coming out this year. Maybe Finding Dory might rival this movie as for like picture like animated movie of the year. Um,
well, if any movie could beat Zootopia, it would have to be Finding Dory because I watched the trailer again in front of the Zootopia, and I got goosebumps again. I'm just like, I love Finding Nemo so much. It is one of the best films that ever made. It's just so wonderfully made, and the message
it's
is
my
good
number
and all that
one.
stuff.
It's my number one movie on my list.
That's right. That's right. It was my number 10, which in hindsight now I'm thinking, shit, I should probably raise that, push that up.
Yeah,
But
you should push that up and move Batman v Superman out of your top 10.
probably, yeah, or just move that
Because
switch it,
right now, Zootopia is like my number one movie of the year so far.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's wonderful. But yeah, Finding Dory. I mean, if there's any movie that's going to knock Zootopia out of number one, it would be that movie. I can't. I don't.
I don't think Finding Dory is going to have the same themes. Like, I mean, Finding Nemo is a great movie. It's one of my all time favorite movies. Um, but it's also predictable. Like, you kind of knew that the father would kind of loosen up at the end,
Right.
and there was no like cultural like significance of that movie other than it being a great movie.
Well, again, it's about the journey and not the destination. We know what the destination is going to be. We know the Titanic's going to sink. Blah blah blah. We know all that shit. But it's just how they how they tell the story and how they get there. And they have a huge task on their hands because Finding Nemo has so many wonderful characters, and voice actors. Shit. And a good story that they really have a tall order to kind of, I don't know, lightning in the bottle kind of thing. I don't know I know what the story is
They did a lot of
about,
great like
but
Finding Nemo had a lot of great like little adventures. It was kind of like like the Goonies. It was like an adventure. Like it was just one
yeah,
of those unique adventures that you're like, oh man, I would love to be on that adventure. And I mean, not that you're a fish, but like when he goes and tries to find Nemo, he goes on all these unique adventures to make him grow as a person or as a
absolutely.
fish.
And what people forget, like, I mean, even I forgot when I was watching the movie, he had he was he disabled? I mean, he had a fin that didn't work. But like
Right,
you kind of forget
right.
it when you're watching it. You forget about that. And that's really unique because it's like it doesn't matter if you have some sort of impediment of some kind, some sort of handicap. Like I don't know, I think there's a better word for that. But you you could still rise above things and do things if you put your mind to it or if you work hard, or it doesn't matter if you're capacitated in any way. You could still, it doesn't matter what anyone says. And like in the movie, it's his dad that tells him he can't do anything,
Right.
and that's which, it's fucked up. So he grows throughout the movie, but it's really interesting if you watch that movie, especially the first time I ever saw it. I completely forgot that he was handicapped throughout that whole thing. I forgot, and so
Right.
I'm like, oh shit, like maybe is that one of the points? I don't know, but it's like it's just a part. Like I think one of the themes was you got to at some point let go. You have to you do everything that you can for your kids, and then but there's a point where you have to sit back and go, okay, I hope I taught them everything they need to know. They're gonna fall, but hopefully they know enough to to get back up and keep going. And that's something that the dad struggles with, and it's awesome theme. Um, well, there's all sorts of themes in that movie too, but. Uh,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if Finding Dory comes out at like 98 or 98% like Zootopia is like, man, fuck Disney's gonna have like a field day with their just two
Dude,
animated
that
movies that
that
come out.
movie can't open less than 100 mil, dude. That thing is gonna blow up. People are clamoring for that movie. They're very excited. I'm
I'm
excited.
I'm excited for that movie. Maybe not as much as for Civil War or Rogue One, but again, I'm 37 years fucking old, and I can't wait to go see a cartoon.
I know, man. I stopped. This day and age, it doesn't matter anymore. If you were said the same thing 10 years ago, people would think you're like a dickhead.
Well,
They're
well
like, what is your?
Pixar always transcends like the. I remember in college, me and two of my buddies were the only fucking like guys, the people in the theater going to see Monsters Inc. Everyone else was a child with a parent,
Well, that's because
and
you were trying
like
to pick up on hot single moms. Is why.
no, that was definitely not the case. But it was Pixar. Like back, up until Cars, Pixar never put out a bad fucking movie. So, and all of their movies are fun. Like Toy Story. Like how did you not love Toy Story?
I know.
You're
I
you
feel like now though they need to they're starting to go into sequel territory a lot. So I'm hoping that they've got something in the pipeline that's going to be original and new, because that's always exciting when they come
Yeah,
up with something
when they
completely
come out
new.
with their original kind of stuff, it's always exciting because, well, not to go off too much, but like Inside Out, you could not have created a more
Dear
unique
God.
type of movie.
Yeah. And I don't even care if they don't ever make a sequel to that. It's so beautiful. That movie's so amazing. They don't
Yeah,
ever need to
I don't think they do.
do.
I don't think they ever do need to do that. They probably will be pushed into doing it, which we'll probably see in like 5 or 6 years if it does come out again.
Well, it
Because
would have
I
to
didn't
be a
think they would ever
completely
do. I
it'd
didn't
have
think
to
they
be
would
a
do a Toy
completely
Story
different
again.
story. Yeah, they are dipping back into Toy Story, but you kind of knew that when they made $1 billion, in the last one. They're like, "Oh shit, I guess we better go back to the well." But
But the
what I do
story,
like about Pixar
the
is about
story
the
coming out
story.
of that, the story coming out of Toy Story 4 is an interesting thing. They kind of go back and touch on the same thing that they never talked about, which was Bo Peep is missing and Woody needs to find her. Which I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's kind of interesting.
that was kind of cool. I actually got excited when I heard that, because that's, all. Well, number 3 was so depressing because half the toys were gone, broken or thrown away or put on a
Yeah, Bo
shelf.
Peep. Bo Peep was the major one of the major ones that they got rid of because it was hinted at that her and Woody had a thing going on.
Yeah, yeah, it's sad. Well, I hope they find her. I'm sure they will. That'll be
Yeah, I'm sure they
awesome.
will.
But anyway, so we went way off, but come back around, so the last 2 weeks, the reason for this episode, I mean, I think we were going to do something different, or we didn't know what we were going to do. But for the last 2 weeks, there's just been so much stuff about Holly White and, and whitewashing Asian roles, and, at least 4 or 5 big news stories in the last 2 weeks, to the point where we need to talk about this. This is, we can't wait a few weeks to talk. It's huge now. And this isn't, again, this isn't something new. This has been going on for years, but for some reason, I mean, this year it has been really in your face, especially since the Oscars.
Yeah, and it's now we have an outlet like me for me and you to actually voice an opinion or have an opinion where we don't have to. We're not. Me and you are not bound by any network. We're not bound by any
No,
sponsor.
no.
So if we think something's fucked up, we're going to talk about it. And
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I thought we were done with the diversity episode, but actually, this one got a little bit more heated because this one touched home a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, I don't know. I mean, we don't really talk numbers and stuff to folks, but, we're only 20 podcasts in right now. But the one podcast that we've had the most downloads or the most talked about is the diversity episode. And so it's big. I mean, people are really paying attention to that, really talking about it, which is good. I want to keep that conversation going. I want the culture to start changing, and it has to change from within us, by talking about it. And then hopefully those executives start fucking listening, and then they start making right decisions. And then, and stop talking. I mean, I understand that the industry is all about making money. I mean, everyone wants to make money, and even down to the paper boy. Everybody wants to make money, and that's fine. But you can still do that and hold some sort of integrity to the property or whatever that you're doing, and it will turn around. It'll go back to a time where, you know, we can have way more diversity from all different countries, all different actors, whatever, and they'll still make their freaking money or their, their bottom line and stuff like that. But um anyway, but talking about it even on a podcast that maybe 20 people listen to, it's starting somewhere. So, you know, um hopefully the change is going to start happening. And shit, maybe it'll take us to maybe we need to start making movies and put diverse cast in it. Maybe that's something, we need to start writing scripts with diversity in mind. I don't know. But
Yeah, I'm gonna create those dice I was talking about, and that's how I'm gonna come up with the cast.
there you go. There you go. I can't believe, dude, they're doing Three's Company again. They're doing Three's
Uh,
Company again. You
yeah,
know, I don't even know what to think about that, but the first thing that came to my mind, because it was this week that was announced, was I hope they make that a diverse cast too. I'm just like, why would you put 3 white people in there? You know, it's like they haven't. Anyway, they have opportunities, folks. They have opportunities right now. If they're going to be doing certain things like that, they really need to take the opportunity to change things up and put it more, you know, bring it more to the real world, make it more modern, you know,
It just makes
whatever.
more. It actually makes more sense now to do it more than ever, and
Absolutely.
especially putting more Asians in your movies because let's not forget Hollywood. Your second biggest market that you're trying to push shit over to is China. Don't piss off the Chinese people. Seriously,
Yeah,
second biggest market.
and the whole argument that I'm going back to Max, the whole argument about not casting Asian people in these big movies is because they're not well known. Well, okay, motherfucker, then start making movies and casting Asian people and start making stars.
Yeah,
Start looking around and finding people and make them stars in little independent films, smaller films, whatever the fuck. Uh, I mean, we do that with white people now. Same thing. You know, Chris Pratt.
the world
Chris
is a pretty
Pratt
big
was a
place.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you have a Chris Pratt who was a nobody, and now he's the hugest thing in the world right now. You know, or Robert Downey Jr. I mean, he's a wonderful actor, but that guy was troubled. He had all sorts of problems, and now he's a huge star. Johnny Depp. All those guys were nobodies. Okay, so it doesn't. They're white. So what? You can hire black people. You can hire Asian people. You can hire Indian people that are not well known, but you can make them well known. That's up to you to make them well
Like
known.
that chick from Quantico.
From Quantico?
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, man. Shit. I mean, I don't know. I think honestly, right now, I think most TV and especially like cable shows pretty much are getting it right most of the time. It's these fucking like Hollywood bullshit that
not Game of Thrones.
not Game of Thrones. That's
No, that's a very white show.
yeah, it is a very white show. But you can also argue, you know, it's fantasy bullshit. I mean, I don't
Oh,
know.
I don't care. I mean, that
Again,
show's
that's
too
a
good.
missed opportunity too. That's a missed opportunity to do something.
Well,
You know,
that show is written in a specific realm, and I'm okay with that. But that
yeah,
show's
because
too
all
good,
the
so
well, because
just go
anyone
with
of
it.
color are like slaves or whores or prostitutes or something. You know,
Well,
that's
yeah.
and it's very like you know, not a lot of females or you know strong females in that show either. So
Well, I would hate to because of the way Game of Thrones is. I would hate for them to hire like a really good Asian actor or actress and just have him fucking killed in like 3 episodes.
no doubt, which is kind of funny because I think we do have a we haven't talked about Game of Thrones, but you know season 6 is
We
starting up
will.
pretty
It's
soon,
coming
and
soon.
we will be. That's a kind of a good segue there. We will be talking about Game of Thrones for sure. But anyway, so we're hoping for more diversity. I think the more we talk about it, I think more we can start. We could start changing everything. Hopefully, I mean that's the idea, right? Is to just keep at it, don't give up, you know, and start changing the culture. So
Hey, if Jenny Hops can be a cop, we can put Asian people in movies.
you are fucking absolutely right, dude.
All right, that's
Absolutely.
episode 20.
Episode 20. Episode 20 in the bag. That's episode 20 of Chew on This, a Nerds United podcast. I'm BJ.
Vic,
Chew on that, folks. Till next time.
later.